So it's been like, when was the last office video that I did? It was a while ago. It was over a year ago, and I've since changed a few things here. And people have been asking me to do another one of these, so here we go. As you can see, the lightsabers are still here. I love how, as I mentioned, I mentioned this exactly in the old video. They're mounted on flashlight mounts, so I can actually play with them, and I don't do it as much anymore because the novelty effect has since worn out a little bit. But whenever I have people over, like my brother when he comes over, we always have to play with these. Okay, let's go into the office. So this is my studio, starting from this side here. First we have this right here, which is me from 99 Vidas, the game, made by her. She made me this, and some other things here in the office too. You guys will see here. Take this back. So right here I have Detolf, 2 of them. In fact, we're gonna check that out later. This is from IKEA. It was quite a bit more expensive when I first bought it, but now they go for like 50 bucks, I think it is. So up here I got some action figures and my little arcade cabinet. I did a video recently showing you this thing, and it's not very practical for actually playing on, but it's great for something like this. So my action figures have their own arcade cabinet. I got some more action figures down here. So right here we got my Pride and Joy. I got some of my Game Boys up in shadow boxes as well. I got my Atomic Purple Game Boy Color. I got my Pokemon Game Boy Color here. I got my 100,000 subscribers plaque from YouTube. Now, this is something that confused a lot of people in the previous video. I guess I didn't make it very clear that this is for another channel because a lot of people in the comments are asking. At the time, I think I had 35,000 subscribers, and a lot of people are asking, how come you have a plaque but you only have 35,000 subscribers? And by the tone, I think they were suspecting some kind of shenanigans, but no, this is for another channel, which reminds me, we're almost at 100,000 strong here on this channel. I'm very excited. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put the second plaque, but yeah, I'm gonna do something about it. Maybe I'll replace this one here. But it's not gonna jive so well with the shadow boxes because it's like the new one. It's like silver and stuff. You're gonna help me figure out. You're great at this stuff. I got a red Game Boy Pocket right here and my OG DMG, the Game Boy, the original. This is my very first Game Boy. So right here we have my 2 monitors. This is an HP Pavilion 27BW, so a 27-inch monitor. And this one is by BenQ. They sent me this for a review. I don't remember the product name because it's like a mouthful. It's like EX35 something. It's a 35-inch curved ultra wide, which is great for video editing because you can see so much of the editing timeline down here. So it makes it great for editing video. When I go to Nathalia's house and I have to edit out of my, what is it, a 15-inch laptop, I think, it feels very claustrophobic. And when I come back home to edit on this, it's a relief, really. Coming back here to the desk, I got my charger here for my iPhone 10. There's one of my PSP Go's here in its dock. It's fully charged, that's why the light is off. I have a GameSir G4X controller for playing Steam games and VR games. Speaking of VR, I got this guy right here. This is my Pimax 4K. It's a VR headset for playing mostly Subnautica. I have a phobia called submechanophobia, and basically it's the fear of large objects or large animals underwater, like whales and like giant squids or like sunken ships and things like that. And you will find a lot of people have this fear, kind of seek it out in a weird, like, masochistic way. There's a subreddit for it where we exchange pictures back and forth and things like that. And I love playing Subnautica because it gives me, like, serious chills when I'm diving really deep and I see, like, a huge monster coming at me. It's in VR, it's just another ballpark altogether. This here is a mechanical keyboard. Let me change the color configuration here to something a little more. That's what I usually have it on. Mechanical keyboard, just, you know, it's this one is a Brazilian layout keyboard, which I'm not super used to anymore after years of living in Canada, but this is the one they sent me to do a review because the larger portion of my audience lives in Brazil, so they wanted to see a Brazilian keyboard. Right here is my trusty GPD XD. This thing right here is an emulation wonder. It's an Android tablet shaped, as you can see, as the Nintendo 3DS XL, and it emulates everything. I'm not sure if it's picking up here nicely on the screen here, but you got SNES, there's Steam, so you can stream games from your computer to this thing. PlayStation, DS, Dreamcast, PSP, Game Boy, DOSBox, like it emulates pretty much everything. It's amazing, and because it's Android, it's so versatile, right? There's so many different emulators. There's Android games that run on it. You can stream games from your computer. Like I said, I have to do a whole video on that, on how to stream games to this thing. It's incredible. It's like by far the absolute best portable emulation solution one can buy. It's not cheap, understandably so, but it's the best. This thing right here is the very reason why I'm even doing this video. This is not sponsored, by the way, but I posted a picture of my setup on Twitter, and the guys over at DX Racer, they replied to me and they said, hey, that's a dope setup, but your chair is not that great. Do you want a new one? And I'm like, well, obviously. So they sent me this guy, and it's great. It's super comfortable. It has great lower back support here, which is something that I didn't appreciate until I became older. So yeah, it's a great chair. I got it in yellow, because yellow is my favorite color. So this right here is my Blue Yeti mic. I use it for, let me get this thing out of the way. I use it for recording podcasts. I don't do it for video because I film on this side and then I have to unplug this thing and it's just too much hassle. So I use it for recording my podcast. It's great. And I have a pair of whatever Logitech headphones. I don't even know the model. People ask me all the time when I show up in streams wearing it. I have no idea which model it is. I just picked it up at Best Buy. Right here, some more action figures. I got my Aliens space here. I got some more action figures down here. There's some Mario stuff. I got some Marvel statues down there. This thing right here, something that I guess people don't really see in the videos. This is construction paper, and it's all different colors because this is how I do my videos, right? Like before I used to film against the like the dark desk here. But depending on the product, it doesn't look so great. Like if it's a dark product, if like it's black or whatever, it doesn't, there's not a lot of contrast, so it's not great. So now I just use this and then I kind of swap them. So right now I have a yellow one, there's a green one, as I mentioned before, yellow is my favorite color. So I got yellow here, I got green, I got red down here, and I got some more here. So when I get bored of them, I just swap them out. Right here is my Game Boy corner. So I have a Game Boy Pocket, I got two DMGs here. I got my backlit Game Boy Pocket DMG style. This one is exclusive to Japan. For some reason, Nintendo didn't think you guys deserved it. And this is the Game Boy Light, which is essentially a Game Boy Pocket that is backlit. Again, Nintendo didn't think North Americans deserved it, so it only came out in Japan. It's super rare, and I'm so glad I finally found one. It wasn't cheap. It was 150 bucks, but it was the first one I've ever seen in several years of collecting Game Boys, so of course I had to pick it up. Down here I have some more portable consoles. I got my white Vita here. This is a 1000 model. This is a PSP 2000. This is a Game Boy Micro. I got some Revo K101 Pluses here. I got a Dingo A320, which you can't really find anymore. I got my small but growing Game Boy collection. This is my latest edition, Tennis, which is one of the games that I was most familiar with back in the days of the original Game Boy. So this is where I actually shoot the videos. Right here I have two big lamps. They're 6500K, so they're very, very white, which is why they're off right now, because otherwise it just blows out the camera. So right here I use a 2-camera setup, right? Actually before that, come over here. So behind here, the monitor hides kind of like, this is my area of just a bunch of assorted things. So I have a whole bunch of computer mice back here because I ended up with so many computer mice over the course of my career. I have a GPD XD Plus here. I have a GPD Win back here, which I don't play with as much. Right here, this is basically a gaming laptop that fits in your pocket, right, with built-in controllers. It's pretty neat, but I don't play with it as much right now, which is why it's covered in dust. So this is my recording setup here. I have a Canon M50, which I got recently to replace my aging Canon 70D, which is just here. Now right here I have mounted to the Canon M50 a teleprompter. So as you can see, this is really neat. So basically it's just a support for a phone with a tilted glass that goes over the lens. So if you look down here, you can't see any of the words that are, see? It's really cool the way it works. So I can look right into the lens and talk right into the camera as I'm reading a script. It takes a while to get used to reading a script and still sounding natural. The first couple of tries didn't come out so great. This is the teleprompter actually. It's the Parrot Teleprompter. I think this is the 2nd generation version, and I love it. It cuts the production time in half because you make so fewer mistakes and you're just more on point if you write everything beforehand. I used to use like just like a piece of paper or even writing on my phone, which works great too. But this, being able to look right into the camera and read the script, is just awesome for me. I'm gonna leave a product link at the bottom because people ask me all the time. Every time I post a picture of this on Instagram, everybody always asks me which teleprompter I'm using. So now I'm just gonna link them in this video. So on this side right here is the camera that's pointing directly down at the desk. So this mount right here, something that I got recently, it's this thing right here. The multifunction folding tripod head. This was sent to me by the guys over at GearBest. Actually, it was you who asked for this, because I think you wanted it. But I think we're gonna have to get you another one because I really like this. The camera originally was mounted directly to the shelf, so it made it a little too close to the monitor here. This makes it projects the camera farther out. I have my my lenses here, a whole bunch of glass. I have 24mm, which is the one that I use for most of my videos. I have a 50, which is great for photos, but not so much for video because it's so cropped. You have to film from way far. And I have the one that came with my 70D. This is an 18-135. So it's a great lens for like traveling and stuff, because I mean not so much because of the size and the weight, but it's like a big zoom lens, so it covers your bases for like filming and taking pictures real close and zooming and getting shots that are far away. I got my Nintendo Switch here. I would love to be able to plug a dock to this solution here, but I already have it plugged in to my camera, so I don't want to mess around with it too much. And as you can see, I'm kind of running out of space. I could plug a dock maybe in the back here, so maybe this is something I'll do in the third version of this video. I got a couple of wireless controllers here by 8-Bit Dough, and they're like the premier controller guys for the Nintendo Switch. They don't work just for the Nintendo Switch, they also work on PC, on Mac, on cell phones, right? So they're absolutely great. These are by far my favorite controllers for the Nintendo Switch. Well, how about you tell me about this? What is this, Nathalia?
Oh, it's a Diorama shadow box.
Who made that?
I made it.
If people like this, they think this is cool, and they want to make their own, where can they find the instructions for that?
I posted the tutorial for that on my YouTube channel as well as that one.
Oh yeah, those were your first two YouTube videos showing how to make this little papercraft Nintendo 64 logo and the 99 Vitas shadow box diorama thing. Look at that, that's me right there. Same as that guy right over there. Yeah. It looks awesome. Nathalia is saying that I should mention my computer. Do you think people care about computer specs?
Of course.
Because I don't care that much about computer specs. But anyway, this guy right here is an i7 with I think 12 gigs of RAM and a GTX 1060, which isn't the best video card ever, but I don't do a whole lot of gaming on PC, so that's okay. So this is my studio. This is pretty much where I live. This is my, by far, aside from your house, this is my favorite place to be in the whole world. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the notification bell because YouTube sucks at letting you know I put new stuff out. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter. I'm very active on both. I'm going to leave Nathalia's channel in the description as well. And that's all the time I have for today. I'm Izzy and I'm done.